To start off, I would like to ask everyone why we don't eat insects. The odds are the only reason that we aren't eating insects is because we view them as bugs, which we associate with something that's disgusting and not meant to be eaten. Daniela Martin, author of Edibles, states that the only reason we aren't eating insects is simply because we aren't eating insects. Right now, you may be asking yourself, okay, why would I care what Daniela Martin has to say when I don't even know who she is? So let me tell you. Daniela Martin is an author of the text Edible, as I mentioned earlier. In today's TED Talk, we will be focusing on a specific chapter from the book titled Why Eat Bugs. Before she wrote her book, she had a blog as well as a YouTube channel called Girl Meets Bug. We can see that she has always been very passionate about bugs and has even ate insects herself, which we can see in these pictures. The chapter starts off with Martin telling us a story about her friend Pat. She describes how her friend Pat is really focused on water and how it can conserve more water. As Pat was doing his research, he realized that agriculture uses up a lot of water. In fact, 80% of our water goes to agriculture. Now, you might be thinking, what does water in agriculture have anything to do with insects? Let me tell you how insects have everything to do with the water that is being used for agriculture. Since 80% of the water goes to agriculture, the only way we could cut down on how much water we use is by using less water for agriculture. To put this into perspective, think about how much water you use to give to your dog. While it might not seem as if it's a lot of water, imagine if the entire university had at least one dog that needed water to survive. If the entire university decided to have insects as pets, that would be using a lot less water to give to their dogs. That is similar with the idea of agriculture. If we were eating more insects, we would need a lot less water toward agriculture. Now you may be asking yourself, yeah, we would save water, but how would we get enough protein? Well, since you asked, Martin talks about how there are plenty of protein inside insects. In fact, Pat has even created a company called Chapel that sells things like protein made entirely of insects. The website states that the protein powder comes with 2 times more protein than beef, more B12 than salmon, 4 times more iron than spinach, and a good source of prebiotic fiber. Another reason that may be stopping you from eating an insect is the simple fact that it's a bug and you view that as disgusting. So, what if I told you you were already eating insects? In Martin's chapter, she talks a lot about a previous TED Talk by Mike Dika. They share a lot of same points, especially that we are already eating insects.
And now you may think, okay, in this provincial town in China they're doing that, but not we. Well, we've seen already that quite some of you already ate insects, maybe occasionally. But I can tell you that every one of you is eating insects, without any exception. You're eating at least 500 grams per year. What are you eating? Tomato soup? Peanut butter? Chocolate? Noodles? Any processed food that you're eating contains insects. Because insects are here all around us. And when they're out there in nature, they're also in our crops. And some fruits get some insect damage. Those are the fruits, if they're tomato, that go to the tomato soup. If they don't have any damage, they go to the grocery. And that's your view of a tomato. But there's tomatoes that end up in the soup. And as long as they meet the requirements of the food agency, there can be all kinds of things in there, no problem. In fact, why would we put these balls in the soup? There's meat in there anyway. In fact, all our processed foods contain more proteins than we would be aware of. So anything is a good protein source already. Now you may say, okay, so we're eating 500 grams just by accident. We're even doing this on purpose in a lot of food items that we have. I have only 2 items here on the slide. Pink cookies or surimi sticks, or if you like, Campari. a lot of our food products that are of a red color are dyed with a natural dye. The surimi sticks is crab meat, or is being sold as crab meat. It's white fish that's being dyed with cochineal. And cochineal is a product of an insect that lives off these cacti. It's being produced in large amounts.
As you can see from the video, we are already eating insects. To conclude, Martin talks a lot about her friend's story, Pat, because she wants to stress the point of how insects not only would be good for our health, but would save the environment and help the water.